All right. Hello, everybody. Team Adams Training, December 13th, 2018. And I'm putting that 2018 because we will be together for a long time. So, someday it'll be like 2025. Well, we'll probably be split off by then, but you'll all have your own trainings by then. So, tonight, we're going to go over, I just want to kind of solidify some things going into the new year, right? Because if you've been doing the work, what can happen is you can get a huge wave of people coming in. But sometimes, if you are not prepared with your vision or your belief in what you're doing or coaching, like you can get super overwhelmed super quick and really actually miss something that could set you up for an amazing 2019 and moving forward too. So there are just a few things I wanted to just kind of touch base with tonight. And a couple things where I wanted to celebrate somebody that's just been rocking December. So we're going to start out with Mary Anderson here in just a second. Then I want to bring somebody that's been in the game for a little bit and just what coaching can do for you as far as like the community and also just on your own health journey, and being a part of all this and how that can help. And then we're going to have Tammy come on, and she had a really cool thing happen this week. And I won't steal any of her thunder, but it was just also, like how coaching can help you just kind of pay it forward and just be a light in other people's lives. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Mary, if you are ready, you can go ahead and pop off of mute. Or I can unmute you if it's not letting you.
I gotcha.
You got it. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep. All good.
All right. So it's kind of crazy. I started my month where I was kind of in a weird place. Last month was my first month home, working from home after I quit my job. And I literally had the worst month number-wise that I've ever had. So I kind of went back to square one and dug into my mentorship team and just said, hey guys, I need help. I need out of this spot because I'm in this headspace again. And they're always pretty good with telling me that I'm in that headspace and getting me out of it. So they asked me for 3 things that I changed this month. And honestly, I'm actually higher right now on the 13th than I was at the end of the month last month. And I still have tons of orders going through. So it's a really good month. But I kind of had that mind space of, oh, it's Christmas, nobody's going to order. I kind of got myself out of that by talking to my mentorship team. And I just decided, you know what, do the work. So my 4 things that I can tell you that I changed this month is I just started not only touching my business, because I always did before, but I'm touching my business legitimately starting 20 conversations a day. I'm doing my 3 posts, but I'm also liking the likes. We had a conversation on a training last week where you like the likes and you just go in and say, thanks for your love and your support on my thread lately. I've noticed that you've really liked a lot of the things that I've been posting and I really appreciate your support. And it starts a whole nother conversation, whether it's catching up on their kids or saying, hey, I haven't actually seen you in a while, or, oh my gosh, how are we friends? This is pretty cool. We've gotten to know each other through this social thing. It's kind of cool. My second thing was I've actually started, it's really weird, but instead of looking at the person as a transaction, I've really dug into really following with my heart, and I follow up with my heart. So, this person may say, please pray for my family. And so when I message, I'm messaging saying, hey, I've seen that you've had a hard time lately. It's not even that I'm intending for that person has to sign up. I've had a lot of no's this month too, but I'm okay with the no's because they're not yet. And so I just follow up with my heart. And a lot of people, they're going through a lot of loss this time of year. It's crazy. And so just kind of building myself for January and February and March too. Stretching, reaching, and going for my goals. Actually visualizing hitting those goals. So I actually took and talked to my husband, and his dream is to go to Hawaii. So this is hanging in my office because that's a sea dream for us. I've never been a traveler, so we're going to do Hawaii. And this is my dream kitchen. I found it one day and I screenshot it, and it's hanging in my office to visualize every day what I'm working towards and what I want. And I want to make that money to help my family. So that is also in my office because I literally looked up what $6,000 in $20 bills would look like, and that's what it looked like to me. So I just kind of, that was like my goals, and that was my getting myself out of the headspace. And my last one is living scared and living out loud. I share everything on Facebook. I am just more socially aware. And even when I'm out in public, I'm more socially aware to say hi, share that smile, just take the time to be you and live scared, because it's scary as hell putting yourself out there to all these conversations. And at first when they told me, hey, do these conversations, I was like, what the hell are you guys talking? No, I'm good here. But you're not good there. If you don't want to be in that place, get yourself out of that place. So that's my advice.
I love it, Mary. Great job. Mary, how many new clients have you signed this month so far?
I have 6 new clients, and I brought back 2 that were former clients.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
That's awesome. That is
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. And well, you know what I would say too is I committed like a week and a half ago. I committed myself to doing, because they were doing like the 60-day thing, and I don't know why it popped in my head, but I just committed myself to doing 60 conversations every day. And so I've done it every single day since then. And I finished mine late because my day got kind of thrown off. So usually I try to do them in the morning. But I've just had a few share calls though. Like, so I haven't had the 6 clients or whatever, but it didn't matter. Like, I'm committed to it because I know that's going to show up later. But like what you were saying, that like going with your heart and building that connection with people, like I've really noticed that like, these conversations, if I kind of shift that and really like go in and one of the biggest things to build a connection with someone instantly is to relate to them something. Or go in, like if you go into somebody's house and you're just there, or if you go into somebody's house and you look at their pictures and you're like, oh my gosh, you have a beautiful family, instantly you just have with them. Or like
it's
go ahead.
It's made a huge difference connecting on that level.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
and like I said, I've had a lot of no's or not yet. But like last night, I had a conversation with a lady, and I really wanted to have dinner with my family because it was my birthday, and the only time she could talk was last night. So we had a 45-minute long conversation. I'm not saying you have to have these with everybody, but she's going through a lot of hard times. And I've already done a share call with her last year, and her husband broke his foot that day. And so we reconnected again, and she's like, I really want to know more about it. So we had another share call last night, and she said she wants to work on her mental health. So I'm helping her with accountability for going to the why. Awesome. So that she can get started at listening, and then we're going to go into the health part because she's not in that mental space yet. So, it's just building those connections, and that's where I got out of that transaction where I wasn't like getting off a call and going to my husband and being like, yep, we got another one. No, it's not about you got another one. It's about holy
yeah.
To see that change. Exactly.
Yep.
So well, that was a huge
and happy belated birthday, Mary.
Thank you.
And way to put somebody else, like that's the biggest thing is putting someone else before yourself. So I think that's going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing. All right. So now we are going to move on to Miss Crystal Partlow. And anyways, Crystal has been doing some amazing things lately in her health journey. And I just wanted her to kind of share a little bit about that, because one of the things that we have with being in this community and coaching is accountability. And accountability that is going to be with us all the while, no matter. We're not all perfect, right? Everybody has the struggles. I still have my struggles. Like, I don't think any of us on here are 5% body fat. Maybe somebody is, but I know I'm not yet. And so having that extra accountability and, just being in this community, it means so much. So go ahead, Crystal.
Hi guys. So yeah, I don't even know where to start. So I guess I'll just start from a few months ago. I guess I'll start from convention, really. I was at convention. I was not anywhere close to my original goal weight that I had hit 3.5 years ago, 4 years, I don't know, 3.5 years ago, 3 years ago, a long time ago. And I was frustrated at convention, and I left convention and there was another coach there and she was kind of in that same place. And we're like, we're going to get back on track and we're going to be rocking by Christmas. And it's just, we're all fired up from convention, being around everybody because it's so awesome. And I was just ready to get back on that health track. We had both kind of been off, this other coach and I, so we had talked about it a lot. And I came home and I was good for like 2 weeks. And then literally all summer long, I just did this: gain 5, lose 3, gain 10, lose. I was just back and forth constantly. And, I had reached out maybe once or twice to Jason and Eileen, and it's just like, and they're like, we're here for you. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I got this. I'm good. I don't need anything because I'm a coach, right? I can do this. I know what to do. So I just was like, yeah, I'm doing fine. And I was not doing fine. And I don't know really where that mental switch happened. There was a couple things I could say. I stood on the scale and saw a number that I actually was shocked by because I was avoiding the scale again. I was down to like 2 pairs of scrub pants that actually fit, and I was washing them every other day for work. That's not a good thing to be in. So there was just a couple things that led to it. And Jason started that accountability group, the November one. And honestly, when he sent me the link for it, I ignored it for like 3 days. Like seriously, just ignored it. I was like, no, I don't need an accountability group. I can do this. And then he sent me a thing. He said, have you joined it yet? And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I'll join your stupid group. Sorry, Jason. But I don't know what that was. But joining that group and having to put that picture of the scale on the group, I didn't share it anywhere else. I wasn't ready for that because I was so embarrassed by how far I had fallen. But I put it out there because then it became real. And since then, since November 1st, I'm actually 1 pound away from 20 pounds now, losing. And thank you. I see all the hand claps. But it's not just about that. It's about the mental shift. Like I had been doing this all summer long where I do good for a couple days, back off on blah, blah, blah. It was really that shift, but it was because I had accountability again. And so after about a week in the group and realizing that that's what I was missing, I reached out to a couple coaches as well as my own coach and was just like, guys, I need more help. Like I suck. I just said it. I just said I suck. But I let some life happen. And, when you've been doing this a long time, I'm like, no, there's a lot of new people on here and you guys are all still riding the awesome wave. And I rode that wave. Just sometimes it's okay that old habits come back in, but don't let the reason that it worked the first time fall off. So I reached back out. I got some coaches, like supporting me again and just cheering for me. And it's like, I'm like that person I was when I signed up for the plan 4 years ago again. I'm excited about stuff. I'm feeling awesome. I don't even want to think about cheating. And it's so crazy because when I did this plan before, I actually reached my goal weight in early November. So Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was in maintenance. And dude, that meant I could have a few cookies. But this time around, I'm not allowing myself that at all. And I'm actually getting through the holidays without having, I haven't had a single cheat since November 1st. I haven't had anything. So it's because though of this accountability that I have. So don't forget that we have an amazing community and that we use. And I will just end with that. If your business is kind of slowing down, double check where your health journey is, because I have definitely felt that. So now that the health journey is getting back on track, I'm hoping to turn that around and use it to get my business back on track. So, because you definitely feel that. So just don't let it slide as far as I did. If I can learn anything from it, reach out sooner. That's what we loved about this program in the first place. So that's all I got.
Awesome, Crystal. And thank you for being vulnerable and just open and honest. You know, there's a saying I heard a long time ago, and you know, like whatever your belief is, but sin grows in the dark and it won't last in the light. Like, so when nobody knows about it and it's your dirty little secret, like it can just be your dirty little secret for as long as you want. But the second you put it out there, like you did with the scale, like the second you put it out there, you just got to own it. And that's probably the point where you're just like, oh, no, this is not where I want to be. And like we all became health coaches because we wanted to stay healthy and wanted to help other people do that. And it doesn't mean that we don't have struggles, because guess what? I think probably, 90% of coaches came from a place where they struggled with their weight for a long time, binge eating, feeling addicted to food. Like, this is not something that just, ooh, I hit my goal weight, it's all gone now. That's all that baggage that you just shoved to the side with a few fuelings and a lean and green that is still dragging behind you, and you have to deal with it. So congratulations, Crystal. So proud of you. All right, so let's move on to Miss Tammy. Ready? And guys, I think we're definitely going to run a few minutes over, so stick with us because I think it's going to be worth it.
Great. Let me set my timer so I don't talk nonstop. Let's see here. When I started my journey, I worked at a senior apartment building. I helped manage a building of 170 seniors. Many of them became my family members. And the day that my business grew and I surpassed my income, I loved working with the people, but the management company that owned the building, they were like a manifestation of negative. And when you're around all this positive and, dreaming of better future with Optavia, like the negative people kind of really I don't know that I want to associate myself with that. So I was very happy to leave that aspect of my job, but the senior citizens, they were my grandparents, and I truly love a lot of them, and I'm not emotional. But so last month I was kind of sitting here thinking, and I was like, oh man, Christmas time is coming up. And one of the biggest things that we did every year at the building was we threw a big Christmas party, and we served dinner. And I was like, I want to go back in. I'm going to go serve dinner to the seniors. Like, how awesome would that be? So it was pinned that there was a surprise guest. They did not know that I was coming. And I showed up with Frosty on, and which they all loved. But I was kind of feeling a little lack in my Christmas spirit. I wasn't really rushed to put my tree up this year, and I just didn't know what was missing. So at some point I made a decision that I was going to give to them. And I was able to give a gift to every single one of them with a dollar amount that I probably won't spend on my own children. But let me tell you, the difference in being able to do that was the most heartfelt thing that I've done in a long time. It made all of the good feels. And I'll tell you, most of the people in that room, in that building, will not receive a single Christmas gift from anybody. So to be able to do that is so incredible. But the point of this is, don't ever estimate where you will be a year from now. A year ago, I would have maybe been able to donate a gift bag of 3 things to 3 people. But a year later, just to be able to give out of my heart and have that ability, because we help a lot of people. We change people's lives in coaching, and guess what? They pay us really well, and they compensate us incredible. And do something good with that. When Dan Valentine says, when good people make good money, they do good things with it. And if you can bless someone else's life with something because of Optavia and because of something's opened, take that chance, because I guarantee you it will come back tenfold again. I did end up having one of the senior citizens, she came up to me and she put her hands on my shoulder and she's like, I'm going to do your program. And I was like, okay, we'll talk. But it was okay, this is okay. We'll figure it out. But is just the difference in a year and what it's done for us as our family. A year ago, we would not have been able to donate 2 years ago, definitely not. Like 2 years ago, Christmas was a real struggle. So to have that ability now and just to look back to see where you were a year ago. If you've been in this business a year, look back at your Optavia Connect from last December and last November and just notice the difference in where you've come. Look back at how far you've grown as a person in the last year. Like, I guarantee you, a lot of you are not the same person you were when you started. So continue, like, there we go. Look forward into 2019. Set some big goals. Like, set that C goal and set that goal that scares the living daylights out of you. And have that dream board like Mary showed, and which I have one too. It's right here. So have that dream board. Use something to set the tension in your structure every day and go after it, because you can do anything that you want to do. So I'm out.
Love it, Tammy. And I mean, we talk about money, of course. Sorry, I forgot I was going to do something. But money just amplifies the person that you already are. You already had a giving heart, and being able to bless those people like that, and don't you want to be like the person that always gets to be able to pick up the check? Like, I always wanted to be that person, instead of the awkward, like, are they going to grab it because I really don't have money to pay for everybody, so I hope they say we're going to split it up, like, I mean, has anybody besides me ever felt like that? Like, they had a couple drinks, I really hope they split it. Instead of just being like, I got it. I know maybe not everybody knows who Eric Hunsberger is, but that guy is like a Bill Ninja. Like, he will snag that before you ever even have a chance to look at it. And that's what I want, always want to be like, just be able to grab that check. Or if somebody saw Corey Baker's video the other day, like, of being able to go out and pay for people's Christmas presents at Walmart. I mean, what a cool feeling that has to be. I know Dan did it last year too. So, and I will say too, just knowing Dan and Meg a bit longer than you guys have, like, they are some of the most giving people I've ever met. I mean, really. So, that's kind of the culture that we want to just have in our group. And I love that. Okay. So what I wanted to kind of do was, getting into the season that we're coming up to takes a little bit of commitment, right? It takes a little bit of just saying, I am all in. And, like, one of the things, I'm just trying to get my notes real quick here. So over the past, like, 4 years, I've seen a lot of people that have wanted it, right? They said, I want it, but they've never had that commitment level. Like, they want it, but maybe they're not willing to do the hard things to get it. So there's a big difference between saying, yeah, I want it, and I am so committed. Jamie, have a good night at work. So there's kind of like 3 phases, right? There's 3 phases of people that, and I heard this today, so I just thought it was so good, of people coming in as coaches. One is it's possible people, right? They think it's possible. It's enough for them to order their coach kit and maybe do a couple things, but that's probably not really going to last that long. And then there's the next people that maybe they attend an event or they have a little bit of an awakening, and that's it's probable people. And they'll get some action going, maybe they're going out of emotion and, they're doing things for a little while. Maybe they'll be around for a year or maybe a couple of years. And then there's the people that really dive in. And what Tammy is talking about is that C goal is something we learned at the summit. And that's that goal that scares you, that you're not sure, like, how you're even going to make it happen, but that it's inevitable. And that's where you get over that hump. Because when you're doing the other 2, it's like you're halfway in and halfway out. You're like, I think maybe I want to dip my toe over here and see, but you're like, it's like this balancing act on a ball. And if you don't have that inevitable belief, every little thing is going to knock you off track. Every no is going to just be like a dagger to your heart. Every time somebody returns an order, you're going to be like, this isn't going to work. Or Dan posted something about somebody stealing somebody else's client, which is like the worst thing, right? And it's the worst feeling too, because you always think it's you. But when you know it's inevitable, it doesn't matter. You're like, it's going to happen when you have that kind of belief. So what that's going to do is you're going to take a shift in your belief. And it starts with the why, right? And how about this, though? How about we break down why and why nots we should do this? Like, make a list, divide a piece of paper in half, and write down all the whys that you should stay committed to your coaching journey and really bust through those obstacles. And then put the why nots. Like, what are the negative things that could happen if you just go all in and commit to it? I mean, maybe you only help a few people, but guess what? You just helped a few people change their life. Maybe you don't hit that exact goal, but guess what? You're going to be a lot further than you ever would have been otherwise. I always love to say, I'm like, hey, if you're complaining about your year this year, why don't you look at what's going on last year? A lot of you weren't even coaches last year, right? A lot of you were feeling sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then this year, we're like, I didn't hit executive director when I wanted to. Oh my gosh, you get to try to actually hit executive director because you have a business where you're helping people create a life they want, and you're healthier than you've ever been before. So one thing is going to be obviously fear, right? Fear is going to hold us back. And there's a couple different kinds of fear. There's fear of success. A lot of people have fear of success. There's fear of failure, right? Of course, there's fear of failure. But what are both of those things really? They're fearful of what other people are going to say. Like, if you have success, who are your friends and family are going to, be like, oh, it's one of those things. Oh, now you're too good because you're making money. Or who are those people waiting by the sidelines, waiting for you to fail, right? And waiting for them to be able to say, I told you so. But fear is really selfish. It really is, because that's all about you. That's all about protecting you. And so what happens is, this is a great example of just getting past that and saying, I don't even care, this is what I'm going to do. Let's say you are super fearful of a pool, of like swimming or whatever. You're super fearful of water, and you're standing next to a side of a pool. And there's a little toddler that walks up right next to you and just walks into the pool and sinks to the bottom. What are you going to do? Are you going to worry about your fear anymore? Nope. You are going to jump in that pool and you're going to save that kid. That's the kind of commitment that we need in this season. Because there's a lot of little toddlers out there, for lack of a better word, but there's a lot of people out there at that bottom of the pool that are just waiting for us to jump in and grab them. So the last thing I wanted to do is, this is my little thing. That's something that can kind of help you through this and help with your belief, because that is what's going to push you past that fear. That's what's going to push you into the place where you're like, I'm doing this no matter what. So everybody, and hopefully you can see this. So there's potential, there's action, there's results, and then there's belief and certainty, right? So everybody has unlimited potential. I think everybody does. I think everybody has potential that they have never tapped into, even close to their potential. And so what people do is they use their little bit of potential that they have, they know that they have, like that's the belief, the certainty that they have. And then what do? They put in a little bit of action. And what happens with a little bit of action? A little bit of results. Yeah, I see Mary. Guess what? Mary upped her action this month. And guess what? She's seeing some results. So guess what that just did for Mary? Mary, did that help your belief and your certainty of this working? She's shaking her head, yes. So that's what happens, is when people have a little belief in their potential, they're going to put in little action with little results. Now, how can we get past that? That is also what who was talking about visualizing? Somebody was. Was that you, Tammy? You talk about visualizing? I have my notes here somewhere. Okay, whoever was talking, whatever. Whoever was talking about it. Somebody was. That's where we have to do. No, actually, it was Mary. Mary, you had your Hawaii trip picture. You had your kitchen. You had the money that you're gonna be able to bless other people with, make it rain, right? That like visualization, it's what's gonna build your belief. So that's what's going to start making your mind go, oh, wait a minute, I can do this. Picturing yourself walking across the stage at convention. Or actually, even better yet, picturing yourself at the bottom of the stage at convention, taking a picture of somebody that's on your team that's walking across the stage. That's just changed your life. Picturing you, not only that picture of Hawaii, you in Hawaii, being able to pay cash for your trip and not having to worry about if you're buying the lei from the guy at the corner or like the skirt or whatever, because it's all taken care of. Or Tammy being able to bless 1,000 people that aren't getting presents because she's built an amazing team and money is no longer a factor in her life. She can live a life regardless of the money. So that's what's going to help you break past that fear. It's going to help you create that certainty of what you want. And in this season, that's what's going to take you to the next level. And that commitment is going to push you through whatever happens, right? And if the wave isn't coming already, well, start tonight. Start tonight. Go put out those 20 conversations tonight. Go connect with somebody. Go be a light in somebody's life. And that's going to come back around, and you will be amazed at what could happen. But 4 years, I never in a million years thought that I could be working for myself at home, connecting with a bunch of awesome people, helping people get healthy, and not have, and I have certainty that I'm not going to have to go back to a job because I believe in what we're doing, and I believe in my growth, and I believe in what's going to happen in these next 10 or 20 years is going to create a legacy in our family that would have never been able to do otherwise. So that's what I got, guys. Thanks for sticking around, that we were able to get it all in. And let's go. All right, I'm going to shut off the recording.